Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Columbus Academy Zoom at Noon. Today we have our college counselors with us. I'll introduce them in just a minute. But first, a couple quick announcements about admissions work. Here it is. The calendar is in I guess it's early December. Just a reminder that application materials should be in by early February. If you have any questions or need any help with anything involving admissions, don't hesitate to reach out to the friendly staff in our admissions office. That's what we do. So just a couple quick items. We have upcoming Zooms at noon. We've got two more actually before winter break. Next week at this time, we'll do the faculty legends. That is we have 4 faculty here who have been at the school 35 or more years. And so they'll be joining us. And then the week after that, we're going to be talking with Christy Benning and the community service program here at Columbus Academy. And then early in January, once we return, we'll be talking with Alyssa King about the summer program and after school programming here. And then a couple weeks later, John Exline will be talking with me about tuition assistance. So you'll want to tune in to those. In addition, we have upcoming visit days. We have Viking visits this coming Wednesday, the 6th. We have a Viking visit for lower school up through grade 5. And then the following week, December 13th, we have a middle school, upper school Viking visit. These are chances just to come take a group tour, meet with some faculty and administrators, find out a little bit more about the school. So we hope you'll take advantage of that and we'll have a good time. So let's move on to today's topic, college counseling here at Columbus Academy. And we have 2 of our 3 college counselors here with us today. Jen FitzPatrick, the Associate Director of College Counseling, and Darnell Heywood, who is the Head College Counselor. So great. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves, and then we've got a slideshow that we'll go and folks behind the scenes. Anika Littell is helping us, so she will be curating any questions you have. Please feel free to put questions in the chat, and let's see how we do.
Okay, great. Awesome. Thanks, John. So I am Darnell Heywood, and John asked us to give a little introduction and background about herself. This is my 15th year at Columbus Academy.
Is that right?
Yes. I have been a director of college counseling for 22 years. And before that, I worked in college admissions at Kenyon College. I am the parent of 2 Columbus Academy graduates, class of 21 and class of 23. And I love this work here, and also love being active in our profession. I'm currently on the Washington University in St. Louis Counselor Advisory Board. Previously, I was a college board of trustee member. I was vice chair of the Association of College Counselors and Independent Schools. I have visited hundreds of campuses and presented many times on college counseling topics at NACAC, our national association, and at College Board with my partner in crime, Jen FitzPatrick. I'm Jen, partner in crime, and this is my 12th year at Columbus Academy. I'm the parent of a current junior, and before being a college counselor here at Columbus Academy, I was a college counselor and director of college counseling at Swickley Academy in Pittsburgh for about 10 years. And before that, similar to Darnell, worked in college admissions. I think that's a very common trait for folks in this job, is to figure out how college admissions works and then come to this, coming to this side of the desk. And we love our work with kids. I'm also a middle school girls lacrosse coach. Outside of our work here at Academy, I've worked on the Common Applications Counselor Advisory Board
and did some work with an organization called Colleges That Change Lives. Darnell and I often present at national conferences, local conferences, just part of the fun. I think I'm up to 300 college visits, something like that, and
Is that
I'm to start a new round of my own and through a different lens, visiting colleges with my own daughter, but it's really fun. We think we have the best jobs at the school. John gets them in, we get them out. So, that's what we talk about it. We're excited to share some brief thoughts about how college counseling works at Columbus Academy, and then obviously take some questions in the chat.
So there are 3 full-time college counselors at Columbus Academy. Carla Kruka is our 3rd college counselor. She cannot be here today, but just want to tell you a little bit about her. She served as a college counselor at the Laurel School in Cleveland for many years. She worked in college admissions at Case Western, at Ohio State, at Otterbein, was a reader for Georgia Tech University, worked at UNC Charlotte. She also has a master's in school counseling. She just finished up. Yes, and so she is really terrific in terms of thinking a lot about the ways not only of the college piece and an expert in that, but the overall growth and development of children, and even things like how should we prepare them best for college? That this office just isn't about college counseling, it's how do we give them skills once they get out of here.
That's great. 3 college counselors for about 100-ish graduating seniors. That's a terrific ratio, folks.
Yeah, and Anika, I think I'll go back one more slide, if a little early if I can. Yeah, so this is what we kind of like to start with. You'll see before you a slide of our seniors with their kindergarten buddies. And I'm sure as you're learning about Columbus Academy, you're learning about some of our wonderful traditions. And one of them is the Senior K-Buddy program. And what we love about this is these photos are all from the first day of school, well, the convocation, the opening convocation of school, where seniors and kindergarten buddies are matched. And I think this really speaks to the way, first of all the lives of all of the kids are interwoven together here at Columbus Academy. And what we love about this photo specifically is that really the way the kindergarten buddies are approaching this day are the way that some of our seniors approach the college process. Some seniors need their hand to be held, like the little girl at the top there that's sitting with her buddy. Others are dying, racing ahead to get out. We can barely catch up to them, saying, make sure to request your transcript on the way out. And then others just need you to sit beside them as they look out in the world, as they process what's out there, as they're thinking about their future. And what we love is that at Columbus Academy, a college preparatory school, every part of what we do at Columbus Academy is ending in college counseling. And so we get to place this in a developmentally appropriate time frame without a huge rush to get to make sure that everyone knows everything, that we get ahead of the game first, because everyone's going to go through this process, and we can do it at a bunch of different rates and paces for the kids that we have here. Thanks, Nick. Next slide. So you'll see here what we do at Columbus Academy. We love our work. We see ourselves as a really interesting stepping stone between the professional, sort of larger adult world out there and the earlier childhood role that we have here. And what we love is that we both see our kids as teenagers, what they are. They're just little kids in big kid bodies. But we also know that we are training them to go out in the world and to discover what they want to do, to develop their character. Who am I going to be? What's my identity? What do I believe in? How do I make that happen out in the world? And so every part of our process is about teaching them those skills. So it's really, there's the transactional piece of where a kid will go to college. And certainly we wouldn't be in business here if we didn't make sure to send teacher recommendations and excellent counselor recommendations and help kids with essays. But more than anything, we think our calling is a little bit larger than that in helping them prepare for next steps. Next slide. So we just want to tell you a little bit about some of the advantages that we see at Columbus Academy. It is highly unusual for high schools to have 3 full-time college counselors for a school this size, and all we do is college counseling. I mean, we play other roles, coaches and teachers and all of those things, but we are primarily college counselors. And so nationally, the ratio for school counselors to students is 1 school counselor for every 500 students. And here, our student to college counselor ratio is 36-to-1 in every graduating class, and we have school counseling on top of that. Really, the Columbus Academy has invested a lot of money in helping us be professionals in our fields. They've invested, send us to conferences, help us learn about what's going on in the college counseling world by sending us on college visits. We spend time learning about the latest new test prep availability and research that's out there about colleges and universities, and we share that information.
Supreme Court rulings.
The Supreme Court ruling, for example. Oh, yeah.
For example.
Yeah, and changes to the FAFSA and all of those things that you might read about. And what we do is we digest that information and then share it in the best ways with our faculty, students, and parents here. And we see part of our role as really letting our families depend on us instead of having to read every magazine article that comes out about college counseling or get worried about the latest trend. What we try and do is really help families understand what's going on out there and really to take down the stress. So what we do is we have a lot of fun with our kids. You can see that picture of that's Miss FitzPatrick's advisory a few years ago. All of those kids there, and we love working with them.
If I can, sorry to digress, and I may be taking things away from you for later, but one of my favorite tours that I ever gave happened. It was just pre-pandemic, but we have a golf cart and we have 230 acres here, and so sometimes I get on the golf cart and with a visiting family we zip around because there are places you can't access. Well, we went to the Crane Outdoor Learning Center, and usually it's, there are some lower school classes. In this case, there was a bonfire going and there were a bunch of, I think they were juniors, and they had hot cocoa and s'mores.
Yes.
And again, just to de-stress, college counseling can be a little stressful and all that, but just to have fun with the kids, you guys took the whole junior class, if I recall.
Yes.
And they were out at the Crane, again, it was a college meeting, but it was a little bit more informal and a little bit more relaxed.
Yes, I mean, we have so many fun things. One thing that Ms. FitzPatrick has put in this year, which has been so much fun, is we get all this college, what we get gear and merch. They give us umbrellas, they give us, paper clips, we get T-shirts, we get pennants, we get stickers, you name it. And so now when we get together with the kids, Ms. FitzPatrick put together a kind of spin the wheel as a little bit like The Price is Right, with all the kids' names in it. And then we spin the wheel, and the kids were like, "You get a University of Arkansas T-shirt!" And it's just so.
Be surprised at how excited people are for a water bottle.
For a water bottle, yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And I think I told you too, John, I mean, this year, one of the things I thought, oh, I love to walk. Maybe some of my kids love to walk. My first appointment in college counseling, I asked kids, do you want to go for a walking appointment? Talk about yourself when we're going outside. And that's really been great for some, so we do take advantage of being here, and we make it a lot of fun for kids.
Sorry to digress. I hope I'm off script here.
Next slide, please. Yes, so just to tell you, Academy Advantage, I mean, we just think there's so many, but some of the things that we have here, we offer standardized testing on campus. We have in our office, when we talked about our terrific support team, we have our test coordinator for AP exams, for SATs, for PSATs, in this office. She's also wonderful at data analysis, does all sorts of interesting things for us. We stay really on top of the latest technology and things here. We have a fabulous Google Classroom, an Instagram account, an X or Twitter account. And we also have, we're always researching the latest kind of systems that we can use, management systems. We switched to Maya Learning a few years ago, which has been fantastic. And then we have these series of coffees that we run for our families to sort of get more information. And we've, in the past couple of years, invited excellent outside speakers to come, deans of admission, the people who are experts on testing. We work with, last year we put together, and then we'll do these things every different year, a panel on experts on playing sports in college that we invited our students and families to. A lot of ways that we really try and engage our students, and students come to our office a lot there. Also, as Jen mentioned, she is a coach. Carla Croca is a tennis coach. So we have, you know, lacrosse and tennis and great involvement in the life of the school. Jen, did I miss anything? Doing great? Okay, doing great. Thanks, pal. Okay, next slide.
I mean, I'm interested.
You're interested in what I'm saying. Okay. So just to give you all a little sense about a landscape of college admissions, and I have no idea what ages your kids are.
I should interrupt. In terms of signups, we actually had, it was mostly high school, mostly entering 9th grade. And then we had a few 5th and 6th graders, and then a couple of kindergarten and 1st graders.
Okay. Yes, great. Well, thanks. Very helpful. So, so a lot of what we do with our students and families is something we're going to share with you, is just helping you understand college admission landscape. And college admission, it's a business. I mean, it is these colleges, whether they're state universities or community colleges or technical institutes or historically Black colleges or women's colleges or liberal arts colleges. They are operating in a competitive marketplace, and admissions is a huge part of that. What students they bring in, how they bring them in. And what we try and do is follow and watch the trends and things that that we have really seen happening, you know, over time is the ways that helping our families understand that we've realized is a huge part of this process. At the same time, to reduce a child to this is a business, this is how you operate, this is where to do, is completely wrong. Because in this, we figured out, you know, year over year, the best, really what we're looking for, the best matches for kids, where they will grow and thrive. And we have a very very well planned out process where students start with self-reflection and research, and then ultimately finding that match for college. We've also realized that kids can only do this for about 14 months, and then they're just done. They shut down. They're not interested in this. Early in their high school career, to start this, they're thinking about what dance they're going to go to. Are they going to get some playing time on the field? Are they going to be able to make it in the play?
I got my big math test coming up.
It says the wonderful math teacher. But
Getting your driver's license.
getting your driver's license. These are the things that they are thinking about. They do not want to be told about something that's coming 4 years down the line. What we love about our program is we can say to parents, hey, we're going to give you information. You can come to this. We're gonna go in and work really a lot with your students when the timing is right. And we have years of experience. I mean, I think we realized our collective experience is, I don't know, over 80 years with the three of us. So we have a lot of experience in this, and our families here, by and large, really trust us. We just got back our surveys. We survey kids to ask them about our program, and really what the advice they were giving the rising juniors is just follow the steps they outline for you. You will get your essays done. You will learn more about colleges you haven't heard of. And by and large, really, we have those steps to a happy process. Anything I missed on that? No, no. Okay, next slide, please. So these are really, I think, the big things that we were talking about in this kind of snapshot year. And I would add to this, I forgot to put on there the FAFSA changes to the federal financial aid form that's new this year. We've had sessions on that for our families. We've gotten that Supreme Court decision on affirmative action, how that is going to change what happens in college admissions this year. And by the way, what we've been telling families and really, because what we've seen and known is that this is going to change how decisions are made. It's not changing how recruiting is happening at colleges and universities. There's very different ways of looking at that. We are also seeing a lot of colleges paying attention to what majors kids select when they're looking at who colleges don't want to be. Every student there is interested in business. They want to make sure they have art history majors and anthropology majors and classics majors and all of those things. And we will see that early applications, all of our seniors had submitted one or more applications by November 1. So that is something that happens year after year. We work with them early. They have application workshops starting in the spring. I mean, in the early summer, and that happens. Anything else? No. Okay, I'll pass it on to you, Jen.
I'm going to talk about some recent changes in college admissions. And so when we talk about the Academy Advantage, I think one of the things is having national experts right here on our campus. And so things that we're aware of, this is a huge one. A lot of people would say, oh, it's test optional, John. Like, why should my kid take tests? And I think if you surveyed 8 out of 10 college counselors or school counselors across the country, they would say, yeah, it's not a big deal. Don't take it if you don't need to. Our advice would actually be different. Most of our kids are still taking standardized testing because if you're in our business and you understand the real nuances behind this, you need to know that some schools are going back to testing. And so these are things we knew probably a year before it happened, that MIT and the University of Tennessee, Purdue, they were going back to requiring tests. And then there are some schools where you are actually twice as likely to be admitted if you have a test score. So I jotted a few down in case you're out there wondering. Places like Georgia Tech, Colgate, Emory, Notre Dame. We partner with a company called Compass Prep. I think you referenced this earlier. And our partners there help us to do a webinar where we're informing families about this every year. So while they're doing test prep, why am I doing a test prep? I think the kids always want to know why, and that's why. The other thing we talk a lot about is the importance of AP exams. Every student at our school has the opportunity to participate or to take an AP exam. And that's actually a bigger deal than you might think. We gave, I think, over 600 exams last year for a school of 420 students. That's actually an incredible amount of AP exams. We had over 100 AP scholars. Our kids do incredibly well on this. These are important because if you look at the graph that we put up there, there is a national grade inflation issue going on. Those aren't numbers at Columbus Academy. Those are national numbers there that you see in the graphs. And so if everybody has an A, the way that you can kind of differentiate is, well, what's your grade? What was your score on the national AP exam? And we think this is really helping our kids as they apply to schools in a competitive application landscape. Nice. All right, next slide.
Yeah, the average student graduates with more than 4 APs taken, I'm pretty sure.
Wow. I didn't know that.
No, it's.
Yeah. I'm impressed, the data. Okay, so we put this slide up here. This is something we put in a lot of our presentations to students and parents in every grade level. We think this is extremely important that people know, both externally, you as folks considering Columbus Academy, and then internally, that our office, we focus on the whole child, because nothing is more important than a child's mental health and mental wellness and the balance that they feel, not feeling pressure. I think when you go to a school like ours, people ask you lots of questions early and often about college, and we kind of teach our kids how to handle those questions, but we also talk about leading a balanced life and the reasons that that's important, and we give them tools for when it gets stressful, how you can manage that stress. We're very intentional about that in our programming. So when Darnell was talking about the timing and pace of things, We teach a college counseling class. That's the entirety of Q3, quarter 3 in the junior year, so that every kid knows that this is a marathon, not a sprint. You're not going to do the entire college process in one fell swoop. 1 week, we're going to talk about writing your essay. 1 week, we're going to do practice college interviews. We're going to have time to do college research. We're going to have time to talk about testing and what's your testing plan. And we ask parents to sort of be our partners in this. We ask folks, for example, to only talk about college 1 night a week, that the student and the parents set the rule and the timing of, okay, it's going to be Sunday at 3 o'clock. That's my time to talk about college, so that things are in the proper perspective. We often have parents who ask us, like, well, what can I do to help? We love telling parents your job is to manage your own anxiety, right? To not let your anxiety get the best of your child's process, and to just be partner in asking questions that are often not about college, that are just about their well-being and what they like about school and their learning process, but focusing on developing good habits that last a lifetime, not just here at school.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to say about that, Jen, which, one of the things I think we really benefit from having been in the school such a long time is we know what's going on in service board.
Yeah.
We can see we know what's going on. Our teachers let us know whose kids, who's going and being in a juried selection at Otterbein University, what's going on in our gallery. Jen is the advisor for the pickleball club, so we know who's good at pickleball.
Really important.
That's really important. But
But it-
Model UN.
Yeah, and in addition, you know the flow of the year.
Yeah.
And the stressful times and the times when it's.
So good example, we just did our junior night, and that's when every student and every parent comes to a big kickoff night. There's a formal presentation, kids are assigned a counselor, the whole thing. We intentionally do that on a certain day in November that is after the close of fall sports seasons, before the beginning of winter sports, before our Thanksgiving break. We know it's a week where there aren't a lot of big final tests. But those are the things you know from working and living in a school as long as we've done this. So I think we had a 95% attendance rate.
It's just great. And I think what we love is we see all of the paths to success for kids available at Columbus Academy. And really that where they go to college is not the prize to be won. That is not the prize.
Small piece of it.
It's finding that match for their talents at the next level. And I think that the kids have so many opportunities for success and for growth here, and it's really, really wonderful.
So Mika, the next slide, please. Okay, so these are some suggested reading. These are folks that we follow. We love Lisa. If you are a parent and want to follow one person on social media, she is who we would recommend. She was actually a guest speaker here at our school. She's a national best-selling author. You won't be sorry if you follow her. The book on the left is a book that you can listen or read. Darnell just finished it and sort of brought it to our attention. If you can't see it, it says Never Enough: When Achievement Culture Becomes Toxic and What We Can Do About It. We think it's important to let people know what's on our hot list, because following and informing yourself and just being in the know is super important. Okay, one more slide. We always say the best defense is a strong offense. So how do you defend against your child sort of becoming stressed, becoming anxious, or you becoming stressed and anxious? We talk about building a balanced college list in our school. So we think it's great to support, big dreams and big goals. But in many cases, that's a reach school or a school, really low admission rate, and you're worried about it and you're stressed. The best way to offset that is to add schools where it's going to balance out your list. That's our job at this school, is to sort of help kids know there's a safety net involved, right? Their parents are holding on to this end of the safety net, your teachers, and then your college counselor. We want every kid to say, I know I have a plan. I have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, so that as I move through the various stages of the college process, I know it's going to work out. And that's our goal. Okay, and then one more back. Okay, we get asked this question a lot, like where do kids go? We're going to just tell you, they go everywhere. So we have around 100 kids in the class. Every year they go to 55 or 60 different colleges. In the past couple of years, over 60 different colleges every year. Colleges come and recruit our students because they know they're going to go. Between 2/3 and 3/4 go out of state. After the state of Ohio, typically the next most popular state is Massachusetts or California. They go far and they go wide. Internationally, we've got students in Canada, we've got students in the UK. They look everywhere. And we're proud of it. It's a variety of schools. There's a school out there for every kid. The class is a wide variety of talents and interests and achievement levels. There's a 4-year college out there for every kid in the class. Okay, and lastly, the question we get asked a lot, can you tell us about their success level? And we could tell you numerically some of those things, but and they're on the school profile. That's linked to our website. You can see on the back of the school profile, we list every year where kids have been admitted. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we give that as part of the admissions
Great,
packet,
okay.
so.
And so every year we produce this document. I think what we're more proud of is just anecdotally what we hear from kids when they go off to school. They come back and visit usually at Thanksgiving break or at winter holiday, and just tell us about the wild success they're having. It is probably the best part of our job is when a kid comes back to us and says, this is really going well for me. We want to place a kid for the long run. We don't want getting in to be the pinnacle of success. We want being at a school and feeling that success and graduating to be, that's the level of achievement we're looking for. Nationally, the transfer rate of kids in college is 1/3. At Columbus Academy, it's less than 10%. When our kids go, it's usually for the long run. Certainly kids transfer back for, a variety of issues, but it's typically 1 in 10. So
That's great.
Great, yeah, that's good.
and
Okay,
isn't
next
that-
slide.
No, I think you got it.
So the next slide,
Are there more slides, Anika?
Yeah, it's 12:30, but I'll put the rest of them.
We'll keep going.
Okay.
We'll keep
quick,
going.
we'll be
Just
quick.
a couple more here.
okay, yeah, so good. So one of the things that we really like to talk about, that we think that is important at Columbus Academy is our partnerships within the school. We meet regularly with the athletic department, regularly with the student services department. We are active in the academic and curriculum planning in the upper school. We see ourselves in the context of the whole school, and we really see it as our job not to be a standalone and standoff office. Really hearing from different experts in the field, who should we watch out for? Who's that great athlete or the great star in the play? We go down into your jazz band early in the morning when they meet at 7:15 to play and find out who's there. And we love that because we think that that really benefits our students. It really helps us get to know them and what their strengths are and helps find them their matches in college.
Amika, can you just flash up the next couple of slides and we'll just tell folks if they want to read those. Go back one for 1 second. One more.
Go back.
Yeah.
Quick information we think people should know about financial aid. I think Darnell already talked about some of this, but this is just some of our financial aid expertise, and then we work with partners.
Yep, that's great. And then lastly, great social media accounts. Follow us, if you're interested in learning more, a little bit about that and what we do here. It's a sense of fun woven in with some knowledge. We know that's best for kids. And last slide.
We can leave that up as maybe questions.
Great.
come in
Yeah.
or-
Anika, are there questions in the chat?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Okay.
John, anything we missed? I mean, you've done this.
No, what I will, and we mentioned this as it went, but one of the great things, Columbus Academy does a wonderful job of balancing. And this office is the poster child for that. We have families and students who have high expectations, who really, are excited about the process. We've got kids who are just coming, and they may not be quite as ready. That first slide that you showed. But there are kids who are really stressed, and kids who you go, hey, you know what? You need a little more stress. And you guys have, this office has done such a wonderful job of balancing those two. Giving kids, again, this is what we do at Academy, giving individual children what they need at the time. And I didn't even know that Carla has a counseling fee.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
You guys have the counseling stuff down. So, any last words?
I don't think there's anything we missed, but
No, we'd love to see your kids
a
here.
snapshot, yeah.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Darnell. Thank you, Jen,
Thanks for
for
having us.
being
Yeah.
here. And we'll see you next time at the next Zoom at noon. Bye-bye.
Bye.